Hello and welcome, my friends. Welcome to Friday. Sorry, a little bit late. My dog decided he needed to go outside. And then, so I had to let him outside. It's like, really? Now? Okay. So you kind of roll with it on a Friday. I'm not sure why it's so dark in here, but I've got weird lighting. It's Weird Lighting Friday. Welcome. So today I'm going to explore next week. I like to do it early because it gives you guys a little bit of time to be kind of proactive, get things in order, do any preliminary work that's going to help you guys out the most. And given what's going to happen over the weekend, a little bit of preliminary work will be good. Mars is going into retrograde on Sunday. So depending on where you're at in the world, it could be Saturday night, Sunday. We're looking at Mars going into retrograde. As I was getting ready, it was funny because all I heard was turbulence ahead. And I'm like, oh, okay. So mind the turbulence. It's kind of like one of those weird weather warnings you get, like, whoo, warning, snow. You're like, oh, crap. Same idea. We have Scorpio coming in on Sunday as well. So again, Mars with Scorpio in retrograde. Oh boy. And actually, Mars isn't going into retrograde on Scorpio. It's going to on retrograde on Gemini, which is connected to Mercury. And breathe. We got this. So make sure that you are taking care of yourself this weekend, because additionally, on top of everything else, the veil continues to thin. It's always that natural progress. A lot of people think that the veil thins like snap, crackle, pop. It's done on Halloween. It's down. Look at that. And then, like, I don't know if that they think that the sun rises and the veil goes up. I'm not entirely sure that thought process, but it is a gradual thing one way and a gradual thing the other. So know that it's not going to be just a bam, wham, thank you, ma'am. So take care of yourself. I don't even need the cards to say that. I can see that coming forward. There's just too many things in play. So making sure, you are grounded. Nice grounding helps you to deal and weather any and all of that energetical storm. If you're highly sensitive, I would suggest an energetical protection of some sort, whether that be meditation, if you use like essential oil blends. You know your tools. It's important we access them. It's coming in on this weekend. It needs to be something that we start to kind of bring in now so that we've got that foundation. We're not so easily swayed on Saturday. And like I said, it's coming in depending on where you're at over the weekend. And what I would say, this is a fantastic crystal. This is labradorite. It's a protector and a grounder. If you've got it, tuck that in, grab that, grab your crystals, have some fun. Okay, so let's get into next week. So we're looking at October 30th through November 5th. So not only do we have that kind of energetical shift coming in, we've got that kind of peak of Samhain or Halloween, we're also have a natural calendar shift. So that shifting energy. I couldn't think of a better deck to play with than the tarot of the haunted house. And I couldn't believe I have not really been playing with my Halloween tarots on these live streams on YouTube. I have no idea why. But I picked this one up and then I had to match it. This is, that's the right way. This is the Witch's Wisdom Oracle, adding that witchy wonder to our reading. So let's get into this week. What can my friends expect from the week of October 30th through November 5th? Did anybody have any plans or different rituals that they're going to do? I know that depending on your religion will depend on, and spirituality will depend on what your thoughts are around Halloween and what you really want to get done, what you're going to do. I know it's a Monday, which is kind of like, oh, it's a Monday. I have to work. But you still have that ability. You can pre-plan. You can get things ready so that after work, you can do some of these pieces. Just make sure that you give yourself that timeline. It's not. Who's surprised to see that? Not me. This is Judgment, the 20th card in the Major Arcana. And I can't see really it's going to be a zombie apocalypse per se. I'm really hoping not. But after 2020, who the hell knows, right? But Judgment talks about those messages, those ahas. Usually it's Archangel Gabriel with a horn calling people to stand up. And that's more what this week's going to be about. I think that Mars in retrograde, and because it's on Mercury, we're going to have a lot of that second guessing and triangulation between people rather than just overthinking things in general. A lot of it's going to be people relations. So it's going to be about really listening to that intuition on the week where the veil is at its thinnest. So listening to that inner aha. And fun fact, Wednesday, I'm going to be publishing my third eye healing 101. So we're going to explore that third eye chakra. So giving you a little bit of aha on working more with that chakra, but also know that during this time, we put so much pressure on ourselves. Take it slow. If you want to use your clairs and you want to really start to connect in with that high vibration, I would suggest go back into my Just You and Me playlist. I have a introduction to channel, I have it as introduction to connecting. So it's starting to work with those channeling abilities. And then also there are 3 meditations I did back in 2022 or 2020 for channeling. That's what it was all about. The first one though is the introduction to channeling, or introduction to connecting is what I said, because channeling can freak people out. And it starts you to work with your guardian angel, your guides, and your support team. A, they're easier to channel and get that information from because they're with you. And B, they're a high vibrational informational source. Just be mindful where you're trying to get your information right now, because it could be a zombie that you're looking at rather than Archangel Gabriel. Okay. This is the 10 of Cups. We have that turning point in the 10. We have the intuition of that cup. And we also have that family groundedness. So if you are looking to work with Archangel Gabriel, I do have meditations in my Archangel playlist that can help you start to work with her amazing, calming, communicative energy. And if you have done them or you're like, I don't need to do that, no, anything white, that's her color, that you can start to connect in. You can start to have that focal point. Clear quartz is usually the easiest one that I find to connect in with her. Selenite will do the same. So something on the white hue, because she's on the white by color spectrum. Okay, back to the 10. So those intuitional energies are really going to help us over the next couple of weeks. I think Mars is in retrograde until December, so it's going to be a while here. Planets are in retrograde for quite some time, so know that. So that intuitional energy is going to be A, at its highest, and B, something we need to rely on a little bit more, because we are going to be second guessing other people's intentions. So things like, oh, they canceled on me, they don't like me anymore. Those jumping to conclusions, you're not thinking things through. It doesn't really make sense. They actually may be sick. You know what I mean? Like going in and validating and checking in, using that frontal cortex. So our thinking piece. Your third eye, yes, is connected to your clairs and to that intuition, but it is also the informational center. This is where we do all our processing, guys. So start to use up here. That is very clear here with the 10 of Cups, because it's a turning point. Okay. Not to mention, okay, check in with your family members, check in with your supports. And this is going to be important. Remember, family is more than just your blood cluster. Family are those high, very important people in your life that want you to succeed and thrive. Some of us have chosen to be in family groups that are not supportive, that have lots of conflict. Seek your supports as you need and as you feel, because no, they are going to be struggling just as much as you are. Like I said, turbulence ahead. They can help ground you. They can help invigorate you, inspire you. And please do not forget, this is the 10 of Cups, not the 10 of Pentacles. If it was the 10 of Pentacles, I'd be like, yeah, this is more on that physical connection. Please don't forget your astral family members. If when in doubt, check in with them. Because again, this is a lot of information on that high vibration. So what we want to make sure is that we're connecting in to a source that's going to, well, be there for our greatest good. If you've never worked with your astral family, I highly suggest it. Yes, it can include passed on loved ones. However, it's more than that, because we have astral family members that we haven't incarnated with in generations. We may be hopscotching through time with them. So know that it's just not, grandpa and grandma or great grandma or your crazy great aunt Mildred. No, this is much more. I have a meditation in my Archangel playlist that is with Archangel Moriel, where we connect in with the tool that you need right now and an astral family member. It was kind of one of those pieces where we want to connect you into a support and give you a tool. It's a win-win. So if you're new here, welcome. Know that I give you guidance and supports and tools to help you with this. Lots of meditations, lots of healings to help, connect dots. Because it's easy to say, oh, well, you just need to use your intuition. Use your frontal cortex. Well, how the Hannah do you do that? So make sure that, you've got those tools, and they are all free. There's no strings attached. And I'm not a monetized channel. At the point of this recording, I'm not monetized. This is for you guys, okay? All my meditations are a guided meditation. Even my healings are a guided thing. So there's not a lot of expectation or demand for you to do weird yoga poses and just hold for 30 minutes. I can't do that. Like so many other people, ADHD is a thing. My brain wouldn't let me do that. So know that intuition, yes, it's going to be a big part of next week, but that's not surprising. This is the time of year when the veil is at its thinnest. Listen to those clairs. Listen to those aspects and pieces that we haven't shut down. The majority of people have shut down their clairvoyance, so the clear vision. We've also shut down our clairaudience, which is our clear hearing. But we were never told to shut down our clear thinking. We were never told stop thinking. We may be told not to overthink, but never to actually not think. We also did not get told to stop feeling. So those thoughts, and especially those random ones where you're like, oh, and wow, squirrel moment, those are going to be important. Okay. Also those feelings, those kind of, ooh, feelings. If they don't make sense right away, write them down. I encourage people to have pen and paper at hand. I prefer old school because technology, like the phone, can and will decide to go down on you, get corrupt. You can and do subconsciously send energy into your system. I do it all the time. Pisses my husband off. Mm-hmm. So know that this is a great time to be able to get some added insight. It's going to help, especially with some of the conflict that we're going to see come up throughout the week, especially on Monday or Sunday, because we do have a lot of kind of bumpy aspects, and we may see that turbulence. So let's go on to the beginning of the week. Let's get some clarity for the beginning of the week. What can my friends expect from the beginning of the week? So whether you call Tuesday the beginning or the middle of the week, regardless. Tuesday I will be posting a healing. It's a healing with the angels. I haven't done one in a while, but it's a good one, guys. So good. I finished it because I never really know what I'm doing. I'm just like, okay, and we're doing an angel healing. Let's see where they're going to take me. Well, we went down a really cool, I finished and went, oh my God, that is epic. So that will be posted Tuesday morning. Oh, wow. Check it out, guys. The star. Star, of course, we're at the 17th card in the major arcana. We're looking at that hopes and dreams. Moreover, it's not just a, oh, yay, my hopes and dreams are going to come true. Yes and no. We need to have a continued modification and adaptation of our hopes and dreams, because we change, we evolve, times change, things evolve. Without formulating and keeping, I guess, perspective on where it is we want to go, if we are off kilter because we've changed things, or our energies changed, or our value sets have changed, our ideals have changed, but we don't change that hopes and dreams, that's going to be a bit of a challenge. So we have the star with judgment. This is a fantastic time, especially as we have Sohain on Monday, to do a check-in. Is there an alignment, or is it incongruent? If things not lining up, if things don't mesh up, you may be going one way, but you want to go another way, and that's just going to cause heartache and pain. So make sure that we've got that alignment. So Sohain, for those who may not be into the pagan realm, it is the end of the year. It's the new year, the new part of a year. So this is a fantastic time to do that check-in. Also, we have natural turning points because we have a natural turning point of the month. We also have that kind of high of the thinnest part of the veil. So we can receive that information. So if you're going to sit down, and I would encourage people to do this, sit down, take 10 minutes, take 15 minutes. Don't take hours. You will overthink this. Mars is in retrograde. Sit down, have some water with you, and reflect in. Where is it that I wanted to go? What does that look like? Where is that star? And before you start, call in Archangel Gabriel. Just see what they have to say. See what happens. Because when you start to ask for help from the high vibration, know you have to break the law of free will down. Ask them to come in and be open to whatever comes forward, because we need that alignment. We'll continue to have frustration. We'll continue to sit and kind of swirl if we're not focused in the right direction. We may have movement, like I said. If we're going in two different directions, really, really sucks. Camera, come on, you can do it. The Ace of Wands. Literally lighting her butt on fire. So we do have, like I said, that natural turning point. We're going to have those new beginnings, those new ahas. Part of that aha is going to be the alignment. Part of that aha is also going to be some of the information that you're getting from from that high vibrational support team. Please make sure, and this is an easy thing that people like to do, is that they call in any Tom, Dick, and Harry during the thinnest part of the veil. You need to be careful what you're calling in, because if it's low vibration, A, it's stupid easy to call in, and B, it's stupid hard to get rid of. Has happened to many of my clients. So please be careful. That's why I encourage people to start and work with their guardian angel and or their guides. Neither will take offense if you choose, because some people are like, oh, I don't want to work with angels. That's too, like, holy for me. Okay, there may be a bad association there. Work with your guides. Work with someone from your high vibrational support team because you know they're high vibrational. And anytime you're channeling and working with that high vibrational energy and trying to channel, make sure that you have supports. If I'm not calling in an archangel, I always have Archangel Michael with me because I know if they're not going to be nice and they're low vibrational and they are not there to share information for my greatest good or for the greatest good of whoever I'm working with, Archangel Michael has a really nice sharp sword and you don't like him and they run away. So protect yourself, guys, okay? We don't want the new beginnings to fizzle out and cause you trauma and or a lot of heartache. So the beginning of the week, we've got lots of fun new stuff. Stuff that can and will transcend into bigger kind of soul-searching fulfillment that we're looking for. All right, let's go to the middle of the week. What does the middle of the week look like for my friends? You should know, guys, originally, like 20 years ago, if you would have said, oh, I would be channeling angels, I would have told you were on crack, that I didn't believe them. I didn't work with them. I worked with other deities. I still work with the same deities, but I found out that some of the energies that I had been working with were angels anyway. Like, yeah. So it's unfortunate that there's been some spiritual abuse around things like angels. They are a great support. But use what you feel comfortable with. I love it. Oh, I love it. The Triforce Perfecta itself, the Three of Pentacles. So, Pentacles, grounding. I said, guys, you know what? There's turbulence ahead. Make sure you're grounded. Very much, especially as we do that switch from October to November and helping to stabilize you in the middle of the week. Okay? There's not a lot like energetically happening in the middle of the week that we can like forecast clearly right now, but know that that turbulence can have vibrational impact because we are looking at that difference coming in on a Tuesday. We can have that instability really give us a wobble Wednesday, Thursday as well. Additionally, the more grounded and stable we are, the more able we're going to be working with self, with our high vibrational support team, and our physical support team. This is a cooperation card. The best and most fullest you can get is having that cooperation between the three aspects: self, that physical person, and that spiritual energy. That gives us the wisdom, the nurturing, the guidance, just even that companionship of doing something. We were never meant to do this journey alone. We are social beings. We come from an energy source that is very social, very collective, and we're all connected. So making sure that we use that connection. We need to be grounded to really get the most out of it, because especially with the high vibrational beings, we struggle the most with those because there is that discrepancy of energy. No, they have no problem hearing us, just like we have no problem hearing that low vibration. Okay. Our physical support team is going to be challenged because Mars is going into retrograde on Mercury or on Gemini. So we've got that Gemini Mercury connection. So know that they're going to be struggling just as much as we are. So that grounded energy will help us to stay up in the frontal cortex, which is very much the energy of this week, is that third eye, that information center. So we want to be able to process. We want to be able to be in control rather than be reactive. Just like in Mercury retrograde, you have people who understand and people who are just surviving and don't get it. My camera doesn't want to work today. It's like, I'm done this week. The Seven of Pentacles, or the seventh card in the Major Arcana, we have the Chariot. So we're starting to see a bit of a pattern here, guys. We've got Major Arcana, Minor Arcana, Major Arcana, Minor Arcana, Minor Arcana, Major Arcana. We've got this very fluid energy right now on how everyday aspects that we are working on this week are really going to be impacting that bigger feeling, that bigger understanding of where you're going, how you're going to do it, and that fulfillment and connection. So no, some of the little pieces that you're like, oh, that doesn't matter, actually does matter. The chariot, the willpower, the drive, that movement forward. Having understanding, having that, woo, this is great energy will be good, but we have to take it forward. That's why we have the cooperation. We know we need to move forward. We know that without that movement, we get stagnant and stuck. Well, when we have that cooperation, that nurturing, well, just that support, it's much easier to take those steps forward. And none of these steps are going to be like fast and furious, guys. As you can see here, and the charioteer is not really ever like balls to the walls, boys, let's go. In most renditions of the chariot, they're very, well, this guy's not even in the damn car. In the original card that Pamela Coleman Smith drew, there is this weird concrete chariot with Sphinx, a black and a white, and then a white and a black, and he has no reins. He's not moving fast. It looks like they're taking 5. They're like, yeah, I'm done. I just need a break here. Know that there is movement, that constant, slow and steady, it is still movement. So even taking 15 minutes here, 20 minutes there, that is progression. Taking time for self and invigorating self. Taking time for creativity and for what brings you that joy. The star is a very creative card. We have that passion. Wands have that passion-based creativity. What's more, we have the cup, which is the intuitional-based creativity. So the beginning of the week, we're starting this trend, a new trend, for that creative energy to start to flow. You don't have to be hyper vigilant and hyper focused in on stuff. We have stuff we have to do every day. We need to do that to keep that foundation of, well, paying the bills, getting things done, and actually living in a physical world. We also want to work on those emotional pieces and our spiritual pieces, because we too are Triforce Perfecta. One aspect goes down on any of those triangles, and this is where you get into sacred geometry. There's triangles upon triangles upon triangles. And when you start to get that, and unfortunately, my daughter has my bigger one of these, if I can find it. She may have all of them. I think she has all of them. Oh, no. Aha, I found one. Yay. Oh, my kids know where my crystals are. And it's just, yeah. This, I don't know if it's going to come up. It's tiny, tiny, but it's called a Merkaba. Triangles upon triangles upon triangles. Sacred geometry at its best. So we are not just one triangle. There are pieces and pieces. Things just start to add up. So when one of those points go down, we start to tumble, because then other points go down. Similar to when we're not feeling well. So if our physical health goes down, so does our mental health go down. Spiritually, we become disconnected. Many of us are already spiritually disconnected. So that's kind of a rounded point. Emotionally, it's an easy fall. And then our physical health. And we start to tumble really, really quickly. And that impacts our ability to be with other people. It impacts our ability to connect in. So making sure that we're strengthening and getting things all together. It's kind of funny how when you start to talk about one aspect, how so many other aspects fluidly come in. Okay, so let's go on to the end of the week. What does the end of the week bring, my friends? Now, if you're interested in spiritual or sacred geometry, the archangels connected to that would be Archangel Metatron. And most people know about Metatron's cube. He's also connected in and the gatekeeper to the Tree of Life, which is another sacred geometry piece. And then he also is in charge of the Merkaba. There's a lot of it. He has a partner in crime. His name is Archangel Raziel, who works with our intuition and are helping us connect in with our clairs. He also helps us to get onto our spiritual pathway. So he was actually one of the first ones that I recognized as an archangel. It took me a while. And then when you get your clairaudience, it's not fun because they'll know your energies. So the way you naturally are. And I'm very sarcastic, bit of a smartass. So everyone who actually knows me and who's watching this is laughing because they know. I said, wait a minute, are you Archangel Raziel? And all I heard was, and I'm like, really? That's what you're like, a divine high vibrational being and your golfers clapping me. It's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, just checking. Okay, so the end of the week, we have the Stoic Magician. First card in the Major Arcana. My camera is really spazzing out right now. Okay, so the first card, Magician, we are looking at that natural ability to, create that magic. He's the guy that's usually got one hand up and the wand down. One hand up, bringing down that universal knowledge, wisdom, guidance, energy, you name it. The wand, of course, it's a tool, everyday tool that you can create and actually, do what you need to do. Manifest, create, prosper, inspire. The Magician talks about that balance of using that universal energy and your everyday aspect. The majority of the cards will have him, similar to what Pamela Coleman Smith had, a table with the wand, the pentacle, the cup, and the sword. True to fact, on the side, we've got that compound. So know that it's not just, the high vibrational beings will guide me and I'll know. Yeah, sure, you'll get that knowledge. But the important aspect is to actually bring it into everyday aspect. The Magician reminds us of that. Not only do we need to use the tools that we naturally have, but the tools we naturally can use. For example, meditation, crystals, incense, tarot, those tools that you really go to that, make sense. The end of the week will also be a great time, FYI, if you know you're missing a tool out. When I have time, I'd like to learn. The end of the week is a good time to dip into that. Definitely dip into it. The Five of Pentacles. Without using the Magician's guidance there, using our tools, we're going to feel that disconnect, that disharmony, that sadness, that fear really hit home, and you're going to see yourself start to stumble. Like I said, once you get one of those points of that triangle broken or wobbly, you start to tumble ahead. I said, caution, there will be turbulence. I knew this weekend we were going to have turbulence, but mind the turbulence. I think that's going to be our motto for the next little while. Mind the turbulence. Use your tools. This is why I like to do these readings on a Friday, because it gives you Saturday to go, okay, I know I'm going to need these crystals, or I need these essential oils, or I want to add in these whatevers into my everyday so I can succeed. I'm not going to feel as bad or have as many problems. So things that I can suggest. Crystals that can help this week. Of course, I said labradorite. This is a natural protector and grounder. I'm big about, what crystal can I use in multiple aspects to get the job done? If you want protection and you are looking on like essential oils, I'm not the best on essential oils, but ylang ylang is coming up. That can be for balance and stability. Go in, ylang ylang frankincense. Add in the frankincense if you've got it. Use your tools and go with what works. Anytime I look at essential oils or herbs and stuff like that, if it's a herb that you know you can eat, similar to like literally, I'll go into my spice cabinet and go, this one, I need this one. So use your senses. Those physical senses can help you. Essential oils. Take the cap off and sniff that butter. And then make sure that you have something to clear your palate though, because everything starts to smell like whatever you dipped your nose in. That's my thing. I'm like, what? Oh, I got peppermint on my nose. So use what you have at hand. One thing I can say, grounding is going to be really important. Cinnamon is fantastic. Nutmeg, fantastic. They're in most spice cabinets. You can add that to your coffee quite easily by putting it in. If you use instant, you can put it in like a tea ball or something like that. If you use the like just a coffee maker, you can put it in the cup. Use your tools that you have. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. We just need to use the wheel right now. So use what you have at hand. This past week, I did a meditation on an energetical protection. That's going to help. Again, and it's a short and sweet meditation, which I love, and I'm going to be strengthening that playlist because it doesn't have as many selections as I want it to. They're under 10 minutes. So people are like, I don't have time for it. Yeah, you do. You can listen to that wherever. Like I literally had that because I had clients who were having panic attacks in the bathroom. And they're like, I need something fast. Something fast. I can do that. So, and that's how a lot of my stuff has ever been creative, is that I do what people need and I let that creativity go. So know at the end of the week, getting back to the end of the week, we are going to have that disconnect. The Five of Pentacles talks about that disconnect, that instability, that stumble. We do have it rounded itself off. We've got the pattern of minor and major throughout the entire read. So know that those everyday things, especially this week, are going to be highly impacting your bigger journey. So take that time, especially at the beginning of the week, and plan it out. I always encourage people at the end of a month, beginning of a month, to look back, reflect. What did that month look like for you? Okay. It's not a time to beat self up. It's like, okay, what happened? You may not have gotten anything that you wanted done on that checklist. That's okay. Look at it. Look at what you overcame. Oh, you know what? I got sick. Wow. That's a big thing. Okay. So you were able to take care of yourself. Perfect. What do you want to accomplish in the next month? And because we do have that star with the with judgment, is it even in the right place? Take a few minutes to look at that. That's going to really set your week up well and get you going, to keep you going, to keep you in line. All right, let's end off on what will support my friends the most to stay in that high vibration and mind that turbulence. I love it when they give me like little catchphrases that I can because it gets in my head. A couple weeks, or it was a couple months ago during the summer, they told me like B is for balance. I said that, and the entire summer I'm like, and remember, B is for balance, and it really helped people out. So mind the turbulence. Oh, they're sassy. The Witch's Cottage. Security. Mind the turbulence. So protection of self is really important. We have crystals for that. We've got all sorts of stuff for that. Don't forget your home and or work environment. That can also destabilize us super fast. Making sure that you take whatever you need forward with you. Ensure if you haven't cleansed your house in a while, do that. If you don't have energetical supports and barriers and boundaries in your household or around your property, it's a really great time to do it. And yes, you can do it. And I do it with clients in apartment buildings, even in people, individuals who live with family members, and they just do it for their bedroom. You can do that. You can put selenite, which selenite wands. I just saw that. That's what brought my mind to it. They're flat, thin. They can lay on top of a windowsill or a door frame. And A, they never need to be charged or cleansed. And B, nobody remembers that they're there. But anything that enters and exits that room gets a nice little wanding as they walk through. Easy tools that make a big difference. So make sure of that. We're getting to a point in time where we're closing our windows more. Making sure that if it's a nice day, hey, maybe open your window a little bit. Use nature to clear that energy out. My kids hate it because sometimes in the fall, I will open up all the windows and let the air blow through my house. And they come in there, why is it cold in my room? I'm like, get a sweater. I cleared the house. Okay, yeah, we live in Canada. I don't do when it's snowing. Like, really. I love it. Chalice, fulfillment. This week, you're going to feel that inner fire go, that inner flame. This week will bring you that holy grail. You're going to have that ability to start to embrace the cup, because it's part of the week itself, and get that creative juice flowing. And creativity, guys, does not always mean arts and crafts. I have clients who are welders, computer programmers, drafters. People show me these weird and intricate like drawings, and they're like, look what I created. I'm like, I have no idea what I'm looking at, but yay! Glad you're excited. No clue. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it makes sense to me. It just needs to be you expressing you. Read upside down. I believe we talked about this. Ancestor remembrance. So earlier on, half an hour, 45 minutes ago, I talked about your astral family. Fantastic, fantastic support that you can use to your advantage, because they can give you that guidance. They can help you remember things. They're high vibrational. They have a better perspective of what's happening than what we do. Even when we say we've got a big picture perspective. Yeah, I can tell you our big picture is this big. It's teeny weeny, microscopic. It's like they're standing on the top of a forest tree and we're lost in the forest. They can shout down to you going, oh, yo, go left. We don't have that ability. Like I said, I do have a meditation with Archangel Mariel, who does work with past on lives, does work with astral family members. It's a nice tool or a nice meditation because it brings you a tool that you need from a past life that you forgot to pack, because we all did, or you packed and forgot you had, and helps you connect into an astral family member. So win-win, because there's insight and wisdom we are missing. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, come on, camera. You can do it. Pentacle. Respect. This is not about Satan worship. This is about respecting perspective, other people's ideas and thoughts. Mars is going into retrograde. I think I said that a lot. And that with Mars in retrograde on Gemini, we're going to have a lot of that jumping to conclusions because of other people's thoughts, behaviors, and attitudes. Respect them. Be okay with where they're at. Have compassion for self. And stay up here and think about it rather than react. Reaction is that lower vibrational gunkiness that so many of us do because that's kind of what we're conditioned to do. we need to start to be better than just reaction. We need to start to, well, shift things for the better. If anybody who's watching and has questions, please feel free to ask. I'm going to be wrapping things up here. But I do want to thank guys for joining me. I love it when people connect in either live or after. It's just really nice to see. I get a lot of feedback and a lot of connection on my meditations and healings, and I enjoy connecting in with people and helping them on their journey. That's why I have so many supports and different types of readings to help you connect into those different aspects of life. I do want to thank you guys for joining me. And if you did like this session, please give it a thumbs up. It helps people find me on the sea of YouTube. So we're paying it forward. More importantly, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell. Like I said, I've got more meditations and healings. I've got more guidance and teachings coming forward. Because next week, in the middle of the week, we will be getting our Healing 101 Third Eye Edition. You don't want to miss any of it. And if you do want an extra layer of support, I do have a Patreon and Ko-fi page. There's links below. You can go check it out. I want to thank you guys for joining me today. Until tomorrow, my friends.